Hey everyone, welcome to your 42nd PHP tutorial. In this video I want to talk about superglobals. So this is probably a new concept to you, and I'm just going to be scratching the bare minimal surface so you sort of understand what superglobals are when we start working with them in future videos. So a superglobal is just a variable that has a value that's an array, which contains a lot of information. It's predefined, so that means these superglobals are already defined in PHP. So basically they contain a ton of information about certain things. So for example, one of them is this is the server superglobal array. It's in all capital letters, so you have to use it that way. And this is an array that's going to contain a lot of information about the server that this PHP is running on. So for example, you can use, within these blocks, you can use, I think it's script file. I'm running out of room. Sorry, I'm going to have to go to the next line. So, pretend it's written in here. It would be script file name. So, this is an example of one. This is an associative array. That means we are using strings as the keys. So this key points to another value, which would be the file name and the actual location of the file. So this is going to say where on your server that this file is located. This is just an example. I'm just throwing random stuff together. This would be a value that it would return, and you can actually use this to get the file name of the file that you're running or echoing this out on. So for example, we could echo out the value of this, or what we can do is assign this to another variable to make things easier. We could say, and then we could assign this the value of the variable server blah blah blah. You get the point. And then we can easily use the file variable, so we could be like echo file, and that's going to easily give us back the file that we're using, that we get from the superglobal array. There's a lot of superglobal arrays. I will just list some of the common ones right now. My handwriting's pretty horribly bad, but here are some of the ones you will run across: global, server, get, post, files, cookie, session, request, env. These all have a bunch of different information that will be used on your PHP journeys. For example, the request method, or not method, I'm sorry, the request superglobal is going to contain information requested from a web page. So if you have something in a name field and you put a value in, you can access this using the request method or the post and get method, which will be, you can access this using the request superglobal array, and then you can use that information later, or you can get this with the get and post superglobal array, and we'll be getting into all of these in the future. I just wanted to introduce you to these concepts. Another thing is the reason we can assign these to different variables. So like earlier we did file, and then we assigned it the value of server, and then the file name thing. Well, this is because when you're echoing it out, you can echo it out directly. Just remember that you will need to use the curly braces when using a associative array, and we talked about that when we talked about associative arrays. So if you just want to make your life easier, just assign these to another variable and then use that variable. So echo file rather than echo server and then all that extra junk. It just makes things easier in my opinion. But that's just an extra step that you don't have to do, and honestly it's not necessary. So yeah, those are just the basics of this, and in the next video we'll be getting into more of this and actual PHP programming. So hopefully this video was helpful, and hopefully you'll subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one.